right. Well, this is back with All Around Athens today. We're doing something a little bit different. Unfortunately, a little string of COVID's going around right now, but Aaron's assisting me with this. And this is Aaron Anderson, by the way, on my left-hand side. And he's going to be kind of doing some more interviews with All Around Athens and the businesses, events, and different places we go. But we were talking about it, and I've done several videos on different businesses and whatnot here in Athens, but I haven't covered myself, and I'm actually in business myself. So we're going to reverse roles, and Aaron's going to interview me, and I'm going to sit in the interviewer seat or interviewee seat and see how this goes. So you go on
Absolutely.
ahead, Aaron, and go and get started.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much for having me, Robert. It's an absolute pleasure to work alongside you and to get to know you over the last couple years now, maybe at least close to a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dear.
it's been a pleasure, and he's one of the finest individuals I've come to know in the area, and so it's been a pleasure, and it's an absolute
Yeah,
honor that Robert has asked me here to interview him back and kind of give him some spotlight when he's been doing so much work behind the scenes, and there's a lot of work that goes into this, guys, as far as editing, cutting, chopping, trying to get the the right spin on it, if you will, for these other small businesses in the area. And so I'm really excited to do this for Robert today, and hopefully this will shed some light on his business, shed some light on what he can potentially bring to you as a client as well,
yeah.
and definitely looking forward to it. And so, without further ado, we may
There
just
we go.
go ahead and jump in. But Robert, first and foremost, I'm going to ask, what made you get into real estate? What? Just a very simple question, if you will.
Started praying about options, and I was driving down the road one day and I saw a sign for real estate school and on how to get started and whatnot. And I walked into the office. It's actually a Keller Williams firm. I'm with Keller Williams now. Um, and inquired about it and told my wife about it, told my mother-in-law, and she actually helped come together with some money for my pre-licensing and getting that together. And I took pre-licensing and I failed once. That wasn't fun, but I just didn't give up. My wife's like, "Don't give up. This is something that I can see you doing and being helped with." So I took the test again. I passed, and then I went to take the real estate exam. I failed once, and then went back and took it again, and I passed. So it took a couple times, but again, I got in. Just wanted to, basically help people out. It's good. It's good opportunity to make money and everything with the position and everything. But I come from a attitude of service. I want to help others, and that's the main thing for me. And hopefully that sets me apart from other real estate agents. Some real estate agents may just have that mentality. They just want to make money and they don't care who they deal with or what they do or whatnot. But I hope to present myself different to others when I serve in real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I love those answers, and I love the fact that it took some hurdles too, some not passing the exam at first. I know a ton of people in the insurance industry that it took them three and four times. I know a ton of
Yeah,
people in the real estate industry it takes them three and four times. So it's
yeah, it's
not
not
an
easy.
easy, yeah, it's really not. And people think that it could be, or may have that misconception that it could be. So I agree with you there. Um, and that'll kind of lead me into my next question. What's the biggest misconception that you come across when you're talking to clients or prospective clients? Just the biggest misconceptions about real estate agents or the real estate or just real estate market in general when you're working with these people?
Yeah. So first of all, it's not easy. That's the main thing. Um, I mean, there's several hours that go into consulting with a client, introducing, figuring out what they need, developing kind of a rapport relationship with them, and then going into showings and making sure we have all the paperwork filled out, introducing ourselves as who we're serving. We have a buyer's agent, seller's agent, or a dual agent, or a facilitator. That's what it is. And so you can end up kind of working between both sides if you need to.
Yeah.
But not to get in the weeds of things, it's just there's a lot of things that go into the whole real estate transactions. A lot of people think we just open doors,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit more than that. We had to make sure, first of all, the client is satisfied, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
There's no cookie cutter real estate client. I wish there was, and
Right.
same thing insurance. You work in insurance industry. You wish there was a cookie cutter insurance client
Oh
that you
yeah.
could work with, and that they're going to get this, this, and this,
Yep.
and go down the line with them. And the same thing goes for real
Right.
estate. We have all different kinds of backgrounds. We have all different kinds of family types, and all different types of needs. And it's important for people to understand that we try to take that all into consideration, those who do their job well, and so that we can make them a satisfied client. If you go look at my reviews online, um, praise the Lord for right now, I still have 5-star reviews. And that's one of the reasons why is because I just tried to take it step by step, not rushing people, want to make sure they're comfortable with me, that I can help them. And then anything comes up, I'm always working behind the scenes to resolve it. In fact, I'll tell you one story. We were close to closing on a house, me and this buyer, and it was right before COVID struck. And so everybody was getting locked down. The seller had moved at the time. They had brought somebody in to move some appliances out of their house. And it was upstairs, downstairs situation. And unfortunately, the movers took one of the washer and didn't disconnect it properly. And so what happened, water ended up leaking all over the house from the upstairs to the downstairs. It was a mess. And we had to take, and, I just jump on top of the situation. It was all hands on deck. I was making calls left and right to the listing agent, bugging her to death. I know she thought I was bugging her to death, but at the same time, I was representing my buyer, making sure that they got everything they needed
Right.
and they weren't going to walk into the house and be destroyed. So we worked together. There's one time I made a call, probably I think at midnight, just to make sure everybody was taken care of and everything was the way it was supposed to be.
And for those that don't or haven't really dealt with the real estate industry a whole lot, to find people that will work that hard for a client or a situation in general,
Mhm.
it's not a dime a dozen.
No,
Not every, there's a ton of people that have, realtor business cards that not everybody's going to take that extra step like that story you just mentioned. So I want to
right.
applaud you for that. That's
Thank you.
awesome. And that's a great story for sure. But outside of that, so I did want to kind of ask you, and you may can answer this, you may cannot, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you had to have a magic eight ball for the real estate market as a whole in 2024, is it going to be more sellers market? Is it going to be more buyers market? Is it going to be a mixture, or is it still just kind of going to be back and forth? Like, what's your prediction on what you're going to see a lot of in 2024? If you had to guess, I guess, make an educated guess.
Uh, I think the market is stabilizing is the way I'd put it. Because the rates are higher, it has put the brakes on people considering what they can afford or what they want to do as far as planning is
Mhm.
concerned. Um, there's still people out there with cash in their homes and they using that equity to, possibly go out and come here from other states.
Right.
But as far as here locally or just in the Southeast in general, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, um, Alabama, whatever. But I'm in Tennessee, of course. But it's to the point where I think it's going to kind of soften up a little bit, and we're going to see kind of a mixed bag. Kind of
Mhm.
in between market, not necessarily seller's market, not necessarily buyer's market, but somewhere in between. I think.
Right. And honestly, from a lot of my partners, I'm getting that same answer. It's kind of evened out. It's not
Mm,
necessarily, people are getting astronomical amounts for the houses, but buyers can't really request everything little thing be done either. It's a kind of a good, push and pull, if you will, which I think is a good market to have,
yeah,
honestly. That's a
yeah,
really good time because then there's some negotiation, but there's also some fairness,
right.
given. So I think that's a good market to be in, but I do have one more quick question for you, and I'm throwing the curveball at you on this one.
Oh,
Throwing a little bit of curveball. You know, put your hand on one, or put your finger down on one thing. What is your greatest joy in this business? What is the greatest? What is the thing that gets you up in the morning to go do what you are doing? And now that you've been in for, we know why you got into it.
mm.
But why do you continue to do it? What's the greatest joy that you find in what you do right now?
Again, it's just satisfaction, just making sure people are. I guess, like in the sense, I'm a people pleaser in that
Yep.
way.
Same here.
But it's kind of funny because I'm not really personality wise, for example, like if we go to a restaurant, me and my wife and kids, I have 8 children, and that's kind of the thing I throw out there every time I meet somebody, and they're like, 8 children. Well, I mean, we're blessed with children, and God's helped us with that. But we're sitting at the table, and people will sit there and stare at my wife and the kids and everything, and I'm like, doesn't bother me. But yet, in the business world, I'm a little bit different because I do want to make sure people are happy. I go out of my way. Some people say I over communicate. Working with a seller right now. I mean, every week, maybe multiple times a week, I'm reaching out to them, making sure that they're okay, that they have everything they need, letting them know what I'm doing for them because it's important to people understand. We're not just sitting there twiddling our thumbs, hoping some buyer comes along. I'm working behind the scenes, doing what I can to market their home, promote it, and I just want to make sure they're satisfied because at the end of the day, if people are satisfied, I've done a good job, and the rest will take care of itself.
You've served them well. If
Yeah,
they're satisfied, you served them well. That's what it pulls down to. That's a great answer there.
yeah.
And I'll throw one more curveball at you too.
Oh
What do
boy.
what do you like about Athens? Why Athens? What do you love about Athens and the community here?
So that's interesting. Actually, I've come to love Athens more than now that I moved back. I moved back because we felt like the Lord was leading us back to this area, and the only thing we could find at the time was a house in Athens, and so it just worked out that we ended up moving to Athens. But now that I live here, it's a friendly city, and every business that I've gone to and talked to them about certain things, they've just taken their time and gone out of the way to make me feel welcome.
Yep.
And in fact, the first, I think, month or two I was in the business, and we were trying to go around. Me and this other associate here at the firm were begging for gift cards for this little giveaway we wanted to do. And every business I went up to said, "Sure, we'd like to promote your business. Sure, we'd like to help you, and just put our name out there, and we'd like to support you."
Yeah.
And so that's what I found pretty nice about this town. It's just everybody tries to help one another.
Yep, absolutely. It is business friendly, it's entrepreneurial friendly, small business
Mhm.
friendly. It really is. And we were kind of this a similar scenario. We moved to Athens out of a convenience deal just to be closer to family and I found starting a business here and everything like that. I found everything you just mentioned. So that's really cool. Outside of that, is there any last minute thoughts that you wanted to share with the community or with the viewers?
Yeah, so just get a hold of me if you want to get a hold of me. You can reach me. I've got a local number 423-405-3655. You can follow me on Facebook at Realtor Robert West. And I do Instagram. I'm not really big on Instagram, but you can follow me on Instagram as well. And we're doing an all around Athens page. I do have also a YouTube page for Realtor Robert West and talk a little bit more just about real estate in general.
Absolutely. Good deal. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. I've had a blast doing this.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for allowing me to kind of turn the tables on you, if you will. And
I
you've
feel a
done
little more
so.
nervous this way. I like it being on the other side rather
Yeah,
than being
no,
the interviewee.
I definitely do like this side of the table. It's less nerve-wracking than when you did it for me a few weeks back, and so I definitely
Exactly.
appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity, and seriously, wishing you the best of luck in 2024. And man, I think you're going to crush it, and I can't wait to see your success.
All right, you too, man. Appreciate you taking time to do this with me.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.